is the color of water vapor in the clouds. It is the color of ice and the color of the oceans. This enormity of water is what gave the Earth the name the Blue Planet. Without water, all life on Earth will cease to exist. Water, possibly the most valuable natural resource, is essential to all forms of life on Earth. Although 71% of the Earth is covered with water, 97% of this quantity consists of salt water. Only 3% is suitable for human consumption. 79% of that quantity is contained in glaciers or ice caps. Pure, easily accessible water in lakes, rivers and the ground remain only 0.003%. However, due to human activity, even this 0.003% is quickly being polluted. As a result, water has become a valuable natural resource that is quickly disappearing. So much so that conflicts between nations in order to gain access to clean drinking water is a possibility in the future. Today we show you the value of the water you drink and also where it comes from. The foundation of Sri Lanka's ancient civilization was irrigation, and the technology used rivaled the best in the world. Massive tanks that sustain Sri Lanka's agriculture to this day are evidence of this advanced technology. With water being the driving force behind their development, ancient Sri Lankans began to see it as synonymous with prosperity. By making offerings to the rain god, they attached a sense of divinity with water, as no life on earth was possible without it. Offering part of the harvest to nature is a common ritual even today. It highlights the value of water in agriculture. The massive tanks built by King Parakramabāhu in order to develop Sri Lanka's agriculture exemplified possibly one of his most famous speeches. Let not a single drop of water flow into the sea without it being used by humans or animals. Today in Sri Lanka, new methods such as rainwater harvesting are used to collect and make the most use of water. One reason we have an adequate supply of clean water in Sri Lanka today is because of the foresighted efforts of our ancestors to conserve it. Our ancient agricultural way of life conserved forests and water retention areas that feed large bodies of water. The sluice used in Sri Lanka's earliest irrigation methods ensured the economic distribution of water from tanks without any wastage. Today, however, people fail to show the same care and appreciation for this precious natural resource. As a result of globalization, industrialization and urbanization that marked the dawn of the 21st century, a rapid increase in population occurred all over the world. This increase resulted in massive pressure on natural resources. In particular, the rate of water pollution was several times faster than the rate of development. This trend was also visible in Sri Lanka. Water can broadly be divided into two categories as ground and surface water. Although water pollution can occur due to natural processes, it is mostly as a result of human activity. Next, we take a look at how this occurs. The following factors have been identified to contribute to water pollution in Sri Lanka: agricultural chemicals, deforestation, soil erosion, destruction of water retention areas, sand mining in rivers, industrial wastes, and waste disposal from urban areas. Agrochemicals and manure used for cultivation have been identified as key factors contributing to groundwater pollution. Pollution occurs when nitrate and nitrite in these chemicals combine with groundwater. While Kalpitiya is one place where this problem has arisen, the danger is the inability to separate the two elements by any water purification method available in Sri Lanka. This kind of pollution increases man's vulnerability to various diseases. River water levels are mainly determined by the rainfall to the central hills of Sri Lanka. Streams of water that trickle down from the hill country turn into rivers, capable of providing the entire country with water. However, deforestation in areas that replenish rivers results in decreased groundwater levels. Soil erosion is also due to deforestation, which in turn leads to the contamination of waterways. One of the major factors that have been identified to contribute to water pollution is irresponsible sand mining in rivers. Apart from river water pollution, this also causes mineral levels of groundwater in surrounding areas to rise, resulting in pollution of those waters too. Factories situated on the banks of rivers and lakes, and also people living mainly in urban areas, dispose of their waste into these waterways. This has a direct impact on the pollution of water resources. Although people in ancient times recognized the true value of clean drinking water, today people are less careful. As a result, many lakes and rivers in urban as well as rural areas are polluted, and the water is unfit for human consumption. This is why the Water Supply and Drainage Board carefully purifies the water that is supplied to your homes. The Ambatale, Kalatuava, Labugama and Kaluganga water purification plants supply water to almost 2 million people in the Greater Colombo area. These purification plants provide around 700,000 cubic meters of water per day. Around 64,000 cubic meters of this amount is supplied by the Kaluganga purification plant. Every day, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board spends 23 million rupees on this purification process. Before the Kaluganga project was initiated, the Ambatale water purification plant was the largest and most modern water purification complex in Sri Lanka. It takes the Kalani River as its source. This river is polluted and the water is not consumable because of various human activities. Therefore, the water purification process consumes a huge amount of time, labor and money.
Generally, the Ambatale water purification plant produces about 116 gallons of water per day. We collect water from the Kalani River to the Turuman Lila. After we purify this water, we pump it into 6 storage tanks in and around Colombo city. For purification purposes, we use chemicals such as alum, lime and chlorine. We import these chemicals from abroad.
පිටරටින් ආනයනය කරනවා. ඇත්තටම මෙම නිෂ්පාදන
During the production process, we spend about 50 million rupees on electricity and around 10 million rupees on chemicals.
අපේ රසායන ද්‍රව්‍ය වලට මිලියන 10ක
So a huge amount is spent in the production process. It is to cover these expenses that we charge a tariff.
මේ මුදල පියව ගන්න තමයි අපි යම්කිසි මුදලක් මේ සඳහා ඒකයි.
The water purification process used by the Water Supply and Drainage Board consists of 5 main steps. First, the water is aerated, then chemicals are added. Thereafter, sedimentation, filtration and disinfection take place. There are also sub-activities that occur during the water purification process. In aeration, the first step of the purification process, oxygen is added to the water. Mineral compounds that alter the taste, odor and color of the water are eliminated in the aeration stage. In the second step, chemicals such as alum and quinine are added. When these chemicals are mixed with water, they react with mud, microbes and other suspended and dissolved particles. This process is known as coagulation. Then begins the flocculation process, where the particles agglomerate to form bigger flocks. As these flocks sink to the bottom of the tank, clear water collects at the top. This process is known as sedimentation. The clear water from the tanks is then passed through the sand filters. Thereafter, minute particles